1/3 of all the land on Earth is desert. To us, it can look like nothing lives out here at all. But it does. Everything here is built around one thing: the wait for water. Some go their whole lives without ever feeling the rain. They drink the fog. They carry water in their own feathers. They hunt by listening to the ground. All of them waiting for the one thing this world almost never gives. And then, at last, it comes. And everything changes. The dust turns to grass. The empty land floods with life. This is a journey through the hardest, driest places on Earth, and the wonder of what happens when the rain finally arrives. From dust to grass. This is one of the oldest deserts in the world, and one of the driest. Here, on the edge of Africa, the dunes run down to a cold sea, and it still almost never rains. Most mornings, the only water for miles is not a drop you could drink. It is the air itself. Before dawn, a cold sea fog rolls in off the water and moves silently over the sand. It hangs for an hour, maybe 2, and then the sun burns it away. For a few creatures out here, that fog is everything, and they have one chance to catch it. A small black beetle climbs to the crest of the highest dune, into the wind, and does something that looks like a mistake. It stands on its head. It plants its front legs low, lifts its back end to the sky, and holds there, facing the fog. And the fog begins to gather on its back. Tiny beads out of the moving air, growing. Bead runs into bead. A drop forms and rolls down the smooth curve of its back, straight to its waiting mouth. It is drinking the breath of a sea it will never touch. It is not the only one working the fog. A pale gecko, almost see-through, comes out onto the cold sand on webbed feet. It has no eyelids, so when the dew settles on its eyes, it simply licks them clean and drinks that too. By full light, the fog is gone, and the dune is a furnace again. But they have what they came for, enough to last the day. Some of these animals will spend their whole lives here and may never once feel the rain. They do not need it. They have learned to drink the fog instead. Far inland, on an open gravel plain, a clutch of eggs sits in a bare scrape on the ground. No shade, no cover, just the eggs and the sky. They belong to a sand grouse, a bird the color of the stones around it. And in a few days, they will hatch into a world with no water in it at all. The nearest water is a water hole, far off across the open plain. Far too far for a chick to walk. And these chicks will not fly for weeks. They cannot go to the water, so the water has to come to them. The Father does it in a way almost nothing else on earth does, with his own body. Each morning, Before the heat, he leaves the chicks and he flies out across the open plain, mile after mile, to the water. And he is not the only one who has come. A desert waterhole is the most dangerous place for miles, the one spot every hunter knows the others must visit. Falcons wait above it. He drops in fast, in a great flock, and lands right at the edge. Then he does the thing he flew all this way to do. He wades in and rocks his chest against the water, and his belly feathers drink it up and hold it like a sponge. Soaked through, heavy with it, he lifts off the pool and turns for home. It is a long way back, carrying a bellyful of water through a hunting sky, but he flies it every day. And when he lands, the chicks run to him. They push up underneath him and strip the water from his feathers with their beaks, drinking their own father, drop by drop. It is enough to keep them alive one more day. Tomorrow, before the sun, he will do it all again. The long flight out, the gauntlet at the water, the heavy flight home. For as long as they need him to. By the middle of the day, the dune has become one of the hottest surfaces on Earth. The sand is hot enough to cook an egg, hot enough to kill anything that stays on it too long. And yet, out here, in the full glare, something is dancing. A small, pale lizard standing on the burning sand. It lifts one front foot and the opposite back foot and holds them up to cool. Then it swaps. Foot, 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 a slow dance on tiptoe to keep from burning. And when even that is not enough, it does the only thing left. It dives straight down into the sand and swims below the surface, out of the heat. But it is not the only one down there, hiding from the sun. Something is already buried in the slope, waiting. It shuffled itself under until only one thing showed. Its eyes set on the very top of its head, watching the surface from below. A small viper, a sidewinder. The open dune is its trap, and it has been lying in it, perfectly still, for hours. The tip of its tail lifts and twitches, a tiny pale wriggle on the sand, like a grub, like something worth eating. And a lizard comes to look. The strike is too fast to see. The sand bursts, and it is over. The desert has fed the desert, the way it always does. One life waiting under the sand, taken by another that was waiting there too. Then the snake moves off across the dune, not forward, but sideways, throwing loops of itself over the hot sand, barely touching it, and is gone. Out on the Kalahari, a single tree carries something that should not be possible. A great shaggy dome, swallowing the whole crown, far bigger than the tree should be able to hold. Not a growth, not a hive. A nest, the largest nest any bird on Earth will ever build. And the birds that made it are tiny, no bigger than a sparrow, a scrap of brown you could close your hand around. sociable weavers, 100 of them and more, all living inside the one great roof they have built together. It is older than any of them. Their parents built it, and their parents before them. For 100 years, the same nest, added to, repaired, and handed down. Underneath, it is a honeycomb. Dozens of separate chambers, each with its own entrance tunnel, dropping out of the base, each holding a pair and their young. Out here, the air swings from freezing at night to burning by noon. But deep inside those chambers, it barely changes. Cool through the worst of the day, warm through the cold of the night. A whole town holding its own weather in a place that has almost none to give. And where there is a town, there are those who move in uninvited. The smallest falcon in Africa, a bird that builds no home of its own, simply takes a chamber and lives in the weaver's walls. It stands guard on the roof, a useful neighbor most days, and now and then it slips inside and takes a weaver chick, the rent for a room in the safest building in the desert. Every year, the nest grows heavier, and now and then one grows so vast it breaks the very tree that holds it, and the whole town comes crashing down. And the weavers simply move to the next tree along and begin again. Another 100 years of building started in an afternoon. As the sun climbs, a family wakes in a hole in the ground. One by one, they come up into the light, small, thin, and hungry, standing tall to catch the first warmth on their bellies. Meerkats, a dozen of them, and not one could survive out here alone. The desert floor is full of food if you dig for it. Scorpions, grubs, beetles, down in the sand. But a digging meerkat has its head down and its eyes full of sand. It cannot watch for what hunts it. And plenty does. Out here, the deadliest thing is not on the ground. It is in the sky. So while the others dig, one climbs to the highest thing it can find, sits up tall, and watches the sky. The sentinel. It keeps up a soft, steady call the whole time it stands guard. A sound that means to everyone below, keep working. All is well. They know its voice. They dig on because it is watching. And there is more to this family than watching each other's backs. A pup, still too young to hunt, is being taught by the whole group. An adult brings it a scorpion, one of the most dangerous meals in the desert, with the sting already bitten off. Safe, this time. Tomorrow, they will bring it one that can still fight back and let it learn the last, hardest part for itself. Then the sentinel's voice changes. One sharp bark and the world stops. A shadow, an eagle turning over the plain, and in an instant, the whole family is gone, poured into the earth. They wait in the dark, and then, from above, the all clear. One by one, they surface again and go back to the digging, together or not at all. This is the rain, the one this whole dry world has been waiting for. And for one animal, buried in the ground beneath it, the wait has been almost 2 years. Tonight, it ends. Far off, over the dry land, the first storm in a long time is building, and the rain begins to fall. It comes down on ground so hard and dry, the water can barely soak in. It pools, it runs, it drums on the earth. And 1/2 meter down, the drumming reaches something that has been asleep for 2 years. A toad. It buried itself here after the last rain, sealed in a chamber of its own skin, and simply stopped, barely breathing, waiting. The sound of rain is the one signal it has waited all this time to feel. It digs up through the softening ground and climbs out into a night it may never see the like of again. Because the pool the rain has made will not last. In this heat, it could be gone in days. Whatever is going to happen here has to happen now. All of it, in the smallest window life ever gets. By the thousand, they come, out of the dry ground, from all around, drawn to the water and to each other, calling through the dark. They mate that same night. By morning, the pool is full of eggs. And now begins the fastest race in the animal world. The eggs hatch within a day. The tadpoles feed in a frenzy, on anything, even each other, growing faster than almost any creature alive. They are racing the sun. Every day, the pool shrinks. They have to become toads and climb out before the water is gone. Some do not make it. The pool takes them back. But some, just in time, haul out onto the wet ground on 4 new legs and dig down into it to wait. A year, perhaps 2, for the next rain. They have already begun. The rain does more than wake the sleepers. It turns the desert green. Overnight, the bare ground pushes up a thin haze of new grass, the first food this land has grown in a long time. And that green is a signal, too, to something that has also been waiting, and waiting in enormous numbers. In the damp sand are eggs, locusts. On its own, a locust is a shy, harmless thing, green and solitary, keeping well away from its own kind. But the rain brings them all out at once into the fresh grass, crowded together, and crowding changes them. Packed body to body, legs brushing legs, they begin to transform. Their color turns, their shape changes. The loner becomes something else entirely. They come together into a single moving mass, first marching across the ground as one, a carpet of them, eating everything green as it goes. And then they grow their wings, and they rise. A swarm of locusts is one of the largest gatherings of life on the planet. It can darken the sky from one horizon to the other. It can be seen from space. Tens of millions in a single square mile. A living storm roaring on its own wings, carried on the wind. And it is starving. A swarm can eat in a single day as much food as a city of people. It pours over the land the rain has just brought to life and strips it bare. The new grass, The trees, every green thing, gone in hours. The same rain that saved the desert has raised the thing that empties it. Then the wind carries the swarm on over the horizon to find the next green place. Behind it, the land is bare and brown again, as if the rain had never come at all. As the heat goes out of the day, a different kind of hunter comes up out of the ground. A small fox, the color of dry grass, with a sharp black mask, and a pair of ears so large they seem to belong to some other animal entirely. Bat-eared foxes, and those ears are not for show. They are the whole way it makes its living. It walks slowly, head low, ears swept forward and turned down to the ground, listening. Not for something it can see, for something it cannot. Deep under the surface, in the dark, a colony of termites is moving through the soil. And the fox can hear them, the faint, dry rustle of thousands of tiny legs below the ground. It stops. It tilts its head, fixing the sound, and then it digs, fast, straight down onto the spot, and comes up with a mouthful. A single one of these foxes can eat more than 1 million termites in a year. Almost everything it needs, it hears first and digs up second. It barely drinks at all. The water it lives on comes from the insects themselves. And back at the den, there is something rarer still. While the mother is out feeding through the night, it is the father who stays. He guards the cubs. He grooms them, warms them, watches the sky over them. In a wild dog or fox, this is almost unheard of, and it turns out to matter more than anything else. Whether these cubs live or not comes down, most of all, to how much their father is there. So he stays, night after night, at the mouth of the den, while the dark desert ticks and rustles around him, listening the way his whole family always does. Rising out of the grass stands a tower of hard, baked earth, taller than a person, sculpted into ridges and chimneys. It was not raised by anything you could see. It was built, grain by grain, by insects smaller than a grain of rice, termites, and it has stood here, growing longer than the oldest tree in sight, some of them for centuries. Inside is a city of 1 million in permanent darkness. They cannot survive the heat or the dry outside, so they never come out. They farm instead, deep in the mound. On gardens of fungus they feed and tend. In chambers, the tower keeps cool and still, while the world outside burns and freezes. A whole civilization sealed inside a spire of mud. And for almost all of its long life, nothing about it ever changes. Until the rains come. The first heavy rain of the year soaks down into the ground, and deep in the mound, it sets off the one thing this colony has been building toward for years. At dusk, the tower opens, and out of it pours a storm of winged termites, tens of thousands of them, all at once, lifting into the failing light. It is the only time any of them will ever fly. Somewhere out there, a few will land, shed their wings, find one another, and dig down together to found a new city, one that could stand for 100 years. But the whole savannah has been waiting for this too. Everything that eats comes to the swarm. Birds snatch them from the air. Bats wheel through them in the dusk. And on the ground, foxes, lizards, anything with a mouth, gorge on the falling storm. Almost none of them will make it. And that is the plan. The colony spends thousands of its own in a single evening so that one pair might slip through and begin it all again. By dark, it is over. The few survivors are underground. The rest have fed half the plain. And the old tower seals itself shut again, to farm in the dark and wait for the next rains and the next single night of flight. The rains have made the grass tall, and the tall grass is full of things that hide. Across it walks a bird unlike any other, long-legged, grey, with a crest of black quills, striding through the grass on foot, as if it had forgotten how to fly. It can fly. It simply hunts better on the ground. It walks all day, mile after mile, watching the grass at its feet, stamping, flushing out whatever is down there. Lizards, rats, and the prey it is most famous for meeting, snakes. The grass moves, and up out of it rises a snake, half the bird's own height, and venom enough to end a far larger animal. The bird does not back away. This is exactly what those long legs are for. It comes in over the snake, wings half spread for balance, and strikes down with one foot, faster than the eye can follow. The blow lands with the weight of its whole body behind it, again and again, quicker than the snake can answer, stamping it down before the fangs can find a way in. It is one of the fastest, most powerful kicks anything alive can throw, landed over and over with perfect aim on a target that can strike back. When the snake is still, it feeds, and then it walks on into the grass, looking for the next. A hunter that gave up the sky and learned instead to strike with its feet. Where the great herds have grazed the new grass, they leave something behind, dung. And to some, a fresh pile of it is a fortune. A beetle arrives within minutes, out of nowhere. It cuts off a piece and works it into a perfect ball, bigger than itself. But a fresh pile is a riot. Dozens of beetles, all fighting over the same treasure, all trying to steal each other's. The only way to keep a ball is to get it away, fast and in a dead straight line. Any wandering, any turn, and a thief will take it. But it is the dead of night. No sun to steer by. No landmarks it could see anyway. Down here behind a ball, twice its own height. So it climbs on top of the ball, and it turns slowly all the way around and seems to look up at the sky. It is reading the stars. Above it hangs the whole arc of the galaxy, a pale band of light spilled across the dark, and the beetle takes its line from that and holds it. It cannot make out a single star, but it can feel the shape of that band of light overhead and keep it steady at its back. And down it goes in a perfect line, away from the crowd, rolling a ball of dung by the light of 100 billion stars. It will bury the ball and lay a single egg inside it, its whole future rolled into the dark and steered there by the sky. In the heart of the Rift Valley lies a lake that should be lifeless. Its water is not water as most things know it. It is caustic, as harsh as bleach, hot enough to scald, thick with soda and salt. Fall in unprepared, and it would burn the skin from your body. Almost nothing can live here, which is precisely why, once the rains fill it, more than 1 million flamingos come. They come here for the one thing this terrible lake gives them: safety. No predator can cross that burning crust to reach them. The very thing that makes the lake deadly is what makes it the safest nursery in Africa. And they are built for it. Long legs to wade the caustic shallows, and a strange, down-turned beak that strains the water for the one thing that thrives in it: a bloom of tiny algae. It is that algae, and nothing else, that turns them pink. By the million, they gather on the flats at the center of the lake and begin to nest, a pink tide stretching to the far shore on ground no other animal dares set foot on. The chicks hatch out gray into the hardest cradle on Earth. And within days, the young are gathered up, tens of thousands of them, herded into a single vast creche, watched over by a handful of adults. Then they must walk off the nesting flats, across miles of baking soda to the only fresh water they can drink. It is a hard march. The caustic ground cakes onto their legs as they go and hardens, and for some, it sets into a shackle they cannot carry. Those ones do not finish. But most do. Most reach the fresh springs at the lake's edge and drink and live. They were born on a lake that kills almost everything, and it is the whole reason they are alive at all. In a few weeks, the young will be pink, and the flats will empty, and the terrible lake will fall quiet again, until the next rains fill it and the tide comes back. On the open plains, in the long light of the afternoon, a cheetah lies in the grass with her cubs. 4 of them, a few weeks old, all enormous feet and pale, wild fur tumbling over her while she watches the horizon. She is the fastest animal on land, and out here, alone, she is one of the most vulnerable mothers alive. She has no pack, no mate to help, no one to guard the cubs while she hunts, and no one to hunt while she guards. Almost everything on this plain is bigger than her, and most of it would take her cubs, given the chance. Lions, hyenas, eagles, from above. Out here, on the open plains, most of a litter this size will not live to grow up. She knows none of that. She simply does not stop. She has to eat, and to eat, she has to leave them. She hides them in a patch of long grass, presses them down, and walks away, out onto the open plain, alone, to do the one thing she was built for. A herd of gazelle grazes in the distance. She picks one and begins to close the gap, low and slow and lost in the grass. And then she runs. Nothing on earth moves like this. From still to full flight in a few strides, faster than a car on a motorway, the ground a blur beneath her, the whole of her poured into the one animal ahead. It jinks. She follows, turning on that long tail like a rudder. For a few seconds, she is the fastest thing alive. And then it is over. One way or the other. This time, she has it. But speed costs everything. She is burnt out, gasping, too spent to eat or even to move for long minutes. And that is the most dangerous moment of all, because on an open plain, a cheetah with a meal is a signal. Hyenas have already seen. They come at a trot, and there is nothing she can do but leave it and slip away, hungry, back toward the grass where her cubs are hidden. They are still there. They pour out of the grass to meet her, and she folds herself down around them. She did not feed today. Tomorrow she will have to run again, and again, the day after, for as long as it takes to raise them. Out here, most cheetah mothers will lose most of their cubs. A few will bring even one safely through, to grow up and run these plains itself. It is the hardest thing this world asks of anything, and she has not, for one moment, stopped trying to do it. For a few weeks after the rain, the dry world is not dry at all. The plains lie deep in grass. The herds are fat. The pans hold water, and birds come down to them in their thousands. It is easy to believe now that it will always be like this. But the rain has already stopped, and the sun has not. Day by day, the green begins to pale. The pools shrink back into the cracked earth. The grass goes to straw, and then to dust. The herds move on, following the last of the water over the horizon, and the land empties again. We have spent this time in the hardest, driest, most patient places on earth. And everywhere we found the same thing, not death, waiting. A beetle drinking the fog, a father carrying water in his feathers, a toad sealed in the ground, counting out the years, a mother on the open plain who will not stop running. None of them is waiting for the world to be kind. They are waiting for the rain, and the rain always, in the end, comes back. When it does, the dust will turn to grass, and the empty land will fill, and all of it will begin again. It always has. Out here, that is what life is. The wait and the boom. If you enjoyed this journey, A like and a subscribe helps enormously. And tell us in the comments, where should we go next?